The Lottoriddles Institute of Health Research. Come on in. Come on in. We got a fun one today. We're not going to take things so serious. Let's have some fun. I got a riddle for you. What is a hypothetical pathogenic disease that doesn't exist? Yeah. What's the answer to that one? And the answer is a disease we're about to cure. We are doing what I theorize as the zombie infection. They label it disease X. So before they come out and admit it, we'll already have it cured. I feel like the people can use some good news, not just, doom and gloom, although it's preparation. Let's before I, release more things about this zombie plague that's planned, we can, go ahead and cure people. They can stock up on something that can help them live through this thing, because statistically, and my best assumption is that there will be a lot of people affected in the future. So at least you'll know how to get rid of it. So I would also write this down, not to get too crazy, but in case the grid go down or something, you'll want to know how to do this. So yeah, let's have some fun. I got more coming up after this one, so I thought I would sneak this disease cure in. And again, this is all theoretical. So one more point I would like to make. I feel like if they can spend all of this money with all of these hands racing to find a vaccine for a hypothetical disease, then I feel like, I can theorize a cure for free. I mean, where's the harm in that? It seems like they have a tendency to think vaccine first. Never cure, it's always vaccine. I always thought when I was younger that, if they could lower symptoms, they know how to cure it. They know how to get rid of something. They can make symptoms feel, next to non-existent. I'm like, I don't know about that. So, okay, so think for a moment. What exactly is the zombie disease? What is it? A lot of people know zombies. They've watched the movies and played the games for decades, but do they actually know what it is? Like, why does a person die and then change into something else? Well, I have a theory. And from my research, I study really, really hard. This thing is a robotic disease. Surprise, surprise. Zombies are robots. So what it appears to be is a nanobite takeover. It's small nanobite robots hijacking the body. They're kicking the soul out of the driver's seat of the body, and they're taking over, animating it itself. So when you look at zombies, it's like, okay, if that body's dead, what's operating it? It's computers. Nanobots have taken over what the mind and the subconscious used to do. That's key to know. You need to understand that this is a robotic disease. When I look at other cures, some I've even come up with theoretical cures for, I used to question, I was like, how does this disease know how to destroy your immune system? I always questioned that. They always say things like, oh, the disease has mutated and learned the body and it has adapted to this and that. I'm like, that don't make sense to me. It just seems highly unlikely, but most people, they're just gonna believe what the so-called professionals say. But upon further review, it looks like nanobites are programmed to attack, say, your immune system. So these nanos are programmed to hijack the body. It's an override. Kick the soul out, we'll take control of the body ourselves. So you need to know that this is a robotic disease. That's very, very key. The next key thing you need to know, and I know this is going to seem like common sense, but I know people. I know how people are. When that person turns zombie, they have flatlined. That's death. I can see people now trying to heal a passed over loved one because the body is still animated and they can't let go. They love them too much. I understand it. I'm not knocking them. I get it, but this is an extinction era. They're going to have to know that. They're going to have to really understand when they turn, that is a flat line. That is death. You cannot overstate that. Now let's cure this thing. Okay, you may want to tie them down or restrict them from moving. And of course, you probably know why, but I'll explain that later. There's two main things you need to wipe this. Just two main things. All right, you need Penicillin G. I told y'all before, that's a miracle drug. Penicillin G as quickly as possible. You need the max dosage, 24 million units, divvied up into every hour. You do not space those hours out. 24 million units of Penicillin G, G as in go, golf, for 1 to 2 weeks, divvied up into every hour. Don't miss an hour. Definitely not with this disease. So you want to get them on that as fast as possible. The second very key thing you need to do is you're going to have to burn that wound. So wherever they got injured, wherever the wound exists, you're going to have to burn it. From what I was studying, you can actually numb it, because if not, they're going to be screaming. But you got to burn that infection wound. That's like the source. So with that being said, yeah, you got to burn the little tiny computers. With that being said, you want to salvage as much as the body as possible, but you really want to burn that wound thoroughly. Even the veins, you gotta burn that infection area. But again, if they got like a wound on the arm, you don't want to burn the whole arm off. You got to use your best judgment with this. You got to burn it, burn the wound, burn it good. Kill the source of that bite. That's how you clean it. I'm not going to say alcohol or peroxide. I'm saying fire. You literally kill it with fire. And you go, again, salvage as much as the arm as possible. Now, don't take offense if your doctor is like in a hazmat suit doing that. But yeah, for those who got that, I mean, that's okay too. But you want to make sure, you know, they're restricted good. They're tied down good. I want to say try to make sure they stay up. But in case they fall asleep, you got them restricted. You will know this is working when they haven't turned, especially a day later and they still alive. You'll know, okay, it's working. They're still here. Because with some infections, a person can change in as little as 2 hours. You definitely got like a 2 to 8 hour window, you know. So and that can differ, that's give or take, but definitely that 2 to 8 hour window. You'll know it's working when they still alive. So if you don't have a hazmat, you still want to say the person the best of your ability. At least you know a remedy to this, because they're gonna act like there's nothing they can do. And what they're going to try to do is they're going to just say, well, if somebody's been infected, stay away from them. We'll keep them monitored. Yeah, they're just going to wait for them to turn. This is not the timeline where we letting that go down. People going to get cured of this. It's a war against humanity, and humanity is undefeated. All right, what else we need? So those are the main things that should kill it. But you're definitely gonna want some pain relievers and some fever reducers. So like your paracetamol, I think that's how you say it. Any fever reducer, because it's gonna be bad, and you're gonna need painkillers, ibuprofen, Tylenol, whatever works. If there's something stronger, they're gonna need something for the pain, and you're gonna need to get that fever down. Hey, if they take some fever reducer, then get them an ice pack, put it on their head or something. They're gonna need those to help them get through it. So make sure you got that stocked up. And I always butcher this name. Let me get it right, because you're gonna need this as well. Ibendronate sodium. Ibendronate sodium. I think that's how you pronounce it. You're gonna need to get that bone density up. You're gonna need that bone to stay strong, especially if there's any fractures. You're gonna want to get that on working. So, that's pretty self-explanatory. I think they give that to pregnant women, and you definitely, I think, got to sit up right with that one. So if they can stay up, that is a good thing. But that's my theoretical cure. Well, let's recap. Penicillin G, we got the max dosage, 24 million units every hour. Burn that wound, burn it good. Keep the person body part, just, hey, if it's a big wound, you got to get it in. If you can't salvage it, you can't salvage it. Keep their life together. But you can numb it up, then get them on some painkillers, get them on some fever reducers, get them on that ibendronate sodium to get the bone right. If they can stay up, that's great. Restrict them if you can. They shouldn't take it personal, and hope they stay alive with this. If a person were to pass away, you would need to burn the body. If they were to die, say they came in too late, you couldn't get them healed in time, you're going to need to burn the body. Do not put them in a casket. No. All right, don't just, I can understand some people put them in the dirt. You're gonna need to light it on fire, and they'll be grateful for that. I'll tell you that much. All right, that's my theoretical cure. Oh yeah, get some sumatriptan for the migraines. That's a good one to get too. You don't want to forget that. But right now you can go ahead and start stocking up on Penicillin G, because that's the main thing. If you don't have anything else, you want that Penicillin G. Usually you'll have like pain relievers around the house. Maybe you can probably improvise with burning a wound if you're not a doctor. But Penicillin G, you definitely want to get that. And I didn't want to leave out the sumatriptan. But yeah. Hey, if you know a competitor medicine or a competitive brand that basically do the same thing and you like it better, hey, go for it. I love ibuprofen, say, over Tylenol. I don't know, it seemed to work for me. But if there's something similar enough, hey, go for that too. But definitely Penicillin G. And it's up to you what kind of pain reliever you want to choose. So beat the panic. You don't want to wait till everybody panicking and rushing to get it. Get it now while it's not like a hot thing. If you can get your hand on it, try to beat the panic. All right. Hey, I'm mad about that COVID tissue issue, y'all. I'm mad about that now. That was wrong. We ain't need tissue that bad. God. Oh, another thing is, if you don't get wounded, if you catch it pathogenically, then you wouldn't need any burning. So thank good on you. I mean, that's better than having to get burned, but you would just take out the burning procedure of what I explained if you catch it by breathing, because it's that bad. They're going to be putting this in the air. In fact, they've already started it. If you look at places they're saying, oh, there's metals in the air. This area is radioactive. They're recalling cans and stuff and a lot of food, saying it's contaminated with metals. My professional opinion, that is on purpose. All right, they're already doing it. And notice how they're saying it's metals. It's metals. They're filling them with them nanobites. Them nanobites are ready to hijack the body on cue. They should give me the CDC money. I'll put it to good use. Give me that money. Speaking of which, get out of Atlanta. Look, I'm going to do an updated list, because the first list I had to kind of rush out so I can correct a few errors I made. But I'm going to do a video, especially if you watch my Intel channel. Atlanta, you can go down to the Florida Panhandle. Your Panamas, your Pensacola's, basically the entire Florida. The Tampa area and the Jacksonville, I'm still like, oh, they worry me a little bit. But Florida, that's quick to get to if you need to get somewhere out from Atlanta. If you're in Georgia, you can just hop to Florida and you should be fine. I'll explain why in the very near future. Atlanta, Georgia is the CEO of this virus. This international pandemic, Atlanta is top dog when constructing it. When in doubt, you want to go Pacific Coast, with the exception of Southern Cal. You want to go Pacific Coast, or you want to hug the shoreline, get to any beach town. So, for the South, definitely that Florida Panhandle, down in the Miami, Floridas of the world. Maybe even your Mobile, Alabamas. You want to hug them shorelines or get to the West Coast. Them will be your safest areas. But we're going to get into that. We're going to get into all of that. Just something quick. I have updated the list, so I'm going to do some changes to that. This is an extinction event. The world will never be the same after this. When you hear about those first bites on the news, when you hear about people eating people, them first bites, just know America, the world, will never recover from that. There's no post-zombie apocalypse. Well, not like a post-COVID, where it's usually a few like months to years after the climax of it. No, there will not. The world won't be the same after this. We're going to have to adapt to something new. So we got to make sure you're alive to get to that point, because then, things will turn out for the better. Things will start working in our favor. So that about wraps it up. I got some more things I'm dropping to prepare the people for this attack. And so you won't just be scared and, oh my God, the zombie, if you even believe it, you at least know, well, we got a cure now. So, I mean, we should, at least we got something. We got places we know where we can go, and we can go now while it's still safe, and we have a cure. So all the other heavy stuff I drop, you can have some kind of sigh of relief. And so that's what I'm here for. Donate if you want. Stop by the site, LottoriddlesInstitute.com. More to come. Come back and see me.